Hello, welcome to the stream. This week I have my good friend Gibbon on commentary to help me talk about
Hello.
hello, to help me talk about some of the games that she was involved in developing. Isn't that cool?
If you say so.
It is. It's very cool. We've got another real life developer talking about their games just like we had with Julius a few
Uh,
weeks ago.
I need to update my site now.
Yes, this is Gibbon's site. You can see a lot of stuff she's worked on here. So
I actually just finished up a contract on Age of Empires 4,
yeah,
so
you
I
should
should
dump that in here
put
too.
that on there. Yeah.
When you click resume and blog, those are dead links, by the way. I don't know if you knew about that.
Oh, I just took the resume down because it needs to be updated.
Sure. Makes sense.
So
So,
and I would have been very upset if you clicked on it anyway, since it has my phone number and
oh,
stuff
right.
on it.
I checked it all beforehand. I wouldn't have yet. Okay. So, yeah, Gibbon's had an interesting career in game development, working on a lot of various things. We're going to start in the early days with the student projects.
Sure, interesting. Let's go with that. Let's go with interesting.
Gibbon was very apologetic to me that a lot of her work doesn't exist online anymore, like for download.
Apparently, the formatting of my site doesn't like your browser.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with that.
No, that's fine. It's probably I coded the entire site from scratch, so it's probably my fault. Um,
Yeah, so while Gibbon was at DigiPen, she worked on a lot of really cool looking things. I'll show you a video of it a bit later. But unfortunately, that far back, DigiPen wasn't as proactive about archiving student projects as it is now.
well, they they have physical mastered CD-ROMs
Okay,
and DVDs of
interesting.
everything, like in a filing cabinet somewhere in a basement. I don't know. Um, but we had to we had to master copies and turn them in at the end of the term. So they absolutely do have my stuff
Hmm.
somewhere. It's just not online. Um,
Yeah, it's too bad they haven't gone back and put it up because this is the
uh,
era where you're getting things like Tag the Power of Paint, which led to that team getting
yeah.
hired to work on Portal 2.
Yeah,
Um,
I of those ones on screen right now, I
mm,
play tested both Tag and Froggle.
awesome.
Um,
Is that a Frogger like one?
yeah, it's like 3D. Well, maybe not Frogger, but it's like a 3D platformer, but you're a frog
That's
and you
very
tongue
cute.
whip things. Yeah, it's cute. It's fun. I was rooting for it to win like the
Mm,
best in show that year, but I think it went to Tag.
mm,
Um, Probably rightly so,
mm.
because it's pretty cool. But Froggle, uh,
And this one
but
kind of
yeah.
reminds me of Knights, the 3D platformer
Mm,
sections. Anyway, um, we do have a surviving project from back then, um, but it's more of a physical game. This one's called Parasite, which Gibbon created around 2010.
this is still in my closet, by the way.
Oh, cool. This
Yeah,
physical thing. Yeah.
yeah, it's
That's
about 20
awesome.
feet from me right now.
Well, luckily we do have the PDF, so I can swap to my other window thing. And yeah, we're going to go through the PDF inspired by Alien.
If that wasn't obvious.
And I have my dice here.
Ooh.
But I went through all the board games in my shelves and I do not have enough dice. So that's why I'm using
Mm.
random.org.
Oh.
Random.org. We bring the random to you.
So
That's their
where's
theme song.
your like double dice?
Yeah, the double dice. I went to a board game shop, multiple board game shops, and asked about the double dice, and they don't have them. But
Wow.
one of the
Games.
one, one of the education suppliers that I use frequently for my job has them. So I think they're more often used
Mm.
in education, in like primary school,
Oh, okay.
than they are used in board games. Where did you find the
Huh.
double dice?
You're asking me to remember where I found something like a dozen years ago. I'm pretty sure I just found them at a local game shop
Sure,
because I
cool.
was not ordering stuff online willy-nilly
Mm.
at the time, being a poor college student. But did frequently go to game shops. Um, so yeah.
So I don't have double dice, but by looking at the position of these dice is the same, so we can just imagine that some are inside, some are outside, basically.
Sure.
That's what I have to do. I was not able to secure double dice, although I have a
Mm.
set of dice that are made of clear resin that have small like frog figures inside them. So
Ooh,
that's sort of like having something inside your
nice.
dice. It's just
Cool.
not other dice. The cool thing about these is that so there's a hollow cavity inside with a smaller die, a
Hmm.
smaller d6, and when you roll it, you can have two different numbers from it, and the game mechanics rely on this. So let's get into it. The premise: you awake, along with your fellow crewmates, in the corridors of the derelict spacecraft you've been exploring. You feel somewhat nauseated and suddenly remember what happened. You are ambushed by aliens who implanted their eggs inside you. Now
Dun dun
you
dun.
Now you and your team, armed with space-age weaponry, must fight your way through the aliens back to your ship before the eggs inside you hatch.
Oh my.
Oh no. So we've got all our dice
Uh-huh.
ready on random.org. The outer double dice represent you and your crew, the inner double dice representing the parasites inside of you. The other dice represent the aliens you're trying to defeat in order to escape your ship. Your dice pool should begin with 6 regular dice and 5 double dice. So, like, the first 6 here are the regular ones, and then sets of 2 for the double ones represented here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if all the outer double dice added up to more than the sum of the regular dice, you have defeated an alien and should remove one of the regular dice from the dice pool. If an inner double die rolls a 1, you have a momentary burst of strength and may re-roll that double die if you so wish. If an inner double die rolls a 6, the parasite is hatched and you must remove that double die from the dice pool at the end of the round. If you get multiples of the same number on the outer double dice, you may add to your total the number of multiples you have. And you may split your dice pool into smaller groups. So this is if you're like splitting up in the ship, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just, yeah, it's purely dice. The assignment was to do a game that was purely dice.
Mm.
Looking at this again, if I were going to add something or build upon it to make it a more fleshed out experience,
Mm-hmm.
I'd either add cards with like mini object here.
Sorry, you dropped
Um,
out for a little bit there.
what?
You said you would add
Okay.
cards for
I'd
mini
add cards.
objectives.
I do maybe like a sort of deck building thing where you draw from like maybe a missions or events pile
Mm.
and have little tasks to complete. Like, oh, it's you want to escape the ship before time runs out, but there's a number of things you need to do first, sort of thing, and then you got to complete like 3 objectives and or something. And yeah, there's a number of things I could do.
Hmm.
Maybe like laying down uh, cards domino style, like connecting to each other to create like a little map of the ship as you go. Maybe having like multiplayer options, either like cooperative or competitive or both at the same time, where like everybody needs to help each other to like get to the point where you can escape the ship, but once the hatches are open, it's every man for himself sort of thing.
Mm.
I don't know. There's a number of ways you could go with it. Right now, yeah, you just roll dice and see how it goes. It's sort of like Yahtzee in that respect,
Oh yeah, I can see
where
that.
there's no real skill involved. It's just dice rolling. Um,
Well, let's
It
give
was
it a
a
go.
simple student project.
I haven't played this before, so I'm keen to try it. So here we go. Here's the first roll. So what I'm actually going to do is starting with the first set of, oh, how many was it? So the first 10 dice represent the double dice.
Okay.
That's how I'm thinking about it. And then the 6 after that are the regular ones. Okay. So I have rolled like inner, outer, inner, outer, inner, outer, which means I have 2 1s, and I can
2 1s.
re-roll those dice if I want.
Yeah, which means you need to roll 4 more dice.
If I choose to.
If you choose to.
Yeah, I probably should because the outer rolls were pretty low. So I'll actually roll my physical dice for this just to not complicate this web page layout. Okay. Green is inner. 3 and 6 I've got. And then I've got a white and a black here. White is inner. 3 and 4. So that came out pretty well.
Cool.
So
let's see.
all the outer double dice have to add up to more than the sum of the regular dice. So
yeah, I don't think that's happening this time.
yeah, the regular dice rolled quite well. 6, 6,
Yeah.
3, 5, 3. So that's 23. And my outer ones are 10, 14, 20, 26. So I actually did roll better, right?
Hmm?
Did I do that right?
What was the sum of the regular ones?
23.
And
I've re-rolled this 1 and 2 to get a 4 and a 6.
Right. Oh,
So
yeah,
I've
okay.
actually ended up with quite a good roll for the outer.
Yeah, so you
outer
get to
dice.
remove one of the regular dice.
That's great. That means I have to go back and change this to 15.
Yeah.
Cool. That means I've killed an alien. Yes.
Huzzah!
Oh, did I roll any 6s on the inner dice? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I have to keep in mind all the rolls.
Yeah, that's another thing. There's a lot of rules to play. Probably want to streamline that a little bit.
Yeah, if this was like professionally done as well, you might have like a flashcard of the basics in like infograph form or something.
Yeah.
All right, round 2.
Okay.
Oh, we've done well again.
Yeah, you have.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we have rolled a 6 on an inner die here. That means one of the
die?
Yeah, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This pair. This is the inner one, which means that alien is hatched and that survivor is dead.
So you need to take it down to 13.
At the end of the round, but that 3 still counts for this round.
You may have also defeated an alien?
It's possible. I'm not going to re-roll this because 5 is quite good. But we got 5, 10, 15, 16, 19. That's survivors. And aliens have got 9, 15.
Oh, yeah.
What did I say the survivors got?
19?
Okay, cool. So we killed another alien. Yeah. We're doing well, but they killed one of us.
So knock the number down 3.
Yes. So we're down to 12. This would be a lot more kinetic with real dice.
Yeah, it would. It's very fun rolling this giant dice pool and counting.
Yeah, I'm sad I couldn't get hold of any die. They're called.
Several inner 6s. A lot of them. Oh Lord, you lost 3 crew members.
Oh no. So you can go so wrong so fast.
Yeah. It's like the Prometheus promo. It all went so wrong.
I like that movie.
So wrong. Yeah, I like it too. Fuck the haters.
Well. Yeah, 6, 6, 6.
Your outer rolls weren't great either.
Nope. Which means I didn't kill any aliens.
But you lost 3 crew members.
Does that mean I'm down to 1 crew member? Or 2?
Uh,
2, 3, 4.
I think you're down to 1 crew member.
4 to 4, yeah.
I think you're about to lose.
So we remove the... Go down to 6.
Go, go, go! Ooh. Ooh.
Captain's
Not
in
a
chat.
loss,
Hi,
but
Captain.
not a gain. Oh, hello in chat. I'm sorry the chat is so empty. It's because I'm here on the microphone
Yeah.
today.
Usually Gibbon is the one providing the activity in chat. Mostly. Ugh, well, I've just lost my first game of Parasite.
Have you lost?
Oh, no, that's right. So I didn't kill any aliens, but they didn't kill me. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, they haven't killed you yet. Roll again.
Okay.
Roll again. Oh, you get to re-roll that.
Okay, I'll roll that on my physical dice. Green was inner. 1, 5 I've got. So 5.
Still doesn't beat that total. But...
Nope. So...
hell, these games are ones I made. This is one of my student projects from college back in the day. It's a dice game inspired by aliens, and it looks a lot cooler when you're playing with the correct physical dice because they're like D6s with D6s inside of them. They're like clear plastic D6s that have D6s inside of them. So you shake them up and roll them. Scroll up to the picture in the PDF.
I could buy them for $3.95 Australian.
Yeah, look at these things.
From this supplier.
So the premise is that those are your crew members with their little alien embryos inside, and you're trying to roll higher totals than the alien dice, the designated alien dice that are not double d6s. And the ones I used for the alien dice were like black and green. So
yeah,
I don't think there's a picture of them.
I think
there might be a picture of them on the page on my website.
Oh, on the page. Yeah, you're right. I think it's a really clever concept.
Yeah, there we go.
Having the inner dice representing an alien that's inside you. So it's like a physical representation of the game mechanic. It's really cool. And I wish I had some that I could play this with properly.
Oh. Hold on, I'll take care of that.
Thank you.
Nasty ad person.
Captain saw these kind of dice used on a maths YouTuber called Stand Up Maths.
Oh, what were they using them for?
What does a maths YouTuber do?
It's a good question.
Yeah, I was saying before, I've seen them for education, for like primary school maths kind of stuff. Maybe secondary even. All right, I was trying some more rolls. I'm at a point where I can't really kill any aliens, so I'm just waiting until the inner one bursts out of me.
I believe in you.
Not with that roll. That's those last 4.
You can
I can re-roll. I'm doing it. Yeah, I didn't do very well. I got a 2. No.
If all of the
that's a 6.
Regular dice. Oh, never mind. You did.
What were you saying?
I was gonna say if all the outer dice rolled like 1 or 2, and you got a 6 on the if all the regular dice rolled a 1 or 2 and you got a 6 on the outer, you could knock one down, and that'd make it easier.
Didn't happen.
But it did not happen.
I've been slain.
Yeah. That's the other thing about the game as it is currently designed is it snowballs quickly.
Yeah. Captain was saying about it's like a maths education thing for probability, and yeah, that's similar to what I was talking about, the school application. I wonder if Danger Mouse, who's a school teacher as well, has seen these inner outer dice thing. She's here logged in on her TV but also working. Okay, let's try again. maybe we can implement one of these optional rules.
Hello.
Hello?
Oh, just saying hi to Danger Mouse.
Oh.
Um,
Yeah.
optional rules.
What would you suggest?
Oh God. That's a good question. I think the second optional rule is really like atmospheric and in line with the alien films, but
Ooh,
would
yeah.
absolutely make the game like just unwinnable as soon as you start to lose.
Yeah.
Um, um, do. The third one again makes more play more difficult. Why would you need to do that? Um,
The only thing that
yeah,
makes it easier is just removing regular
yeah,
dice.
basically. It's like let's start with less. I suppose realistically you could just again, this is why rules would need to be revised because like you'd want some way to gain an advantage where
Mm,
things snowball.
mm.
So having sort of objective cards or things to
Well,
maybe even that out or some rules.
let's just do another regular
So,
game then.
how long ago was this game created? Roughly I think the packaging says 2010.
That's right.
So that's when I would have been in the class to make this. The assignment was to make a game that only used dice and did not use any other pieces or accoutrements. So, like, if I were designing this game from scratch now, I would either include some board element or a deck of specialized cards to go along with it. Just something else going on there. Um, I also did it as a single player experience, but I'd probably do like 1 to 4 players
Wait.
and then make it like a cooperative. I'd probably go like Dead by Daylight for some inspiration. Like you have 4 survivors who are working together to get all the generators up and running, but once you've finished doing the generators and opened up the door, the escape door, it's every man for himself, and if you get left behind, it's your own damn fault. Um, so I kind of feel like that's a good format where you have a number of people playing who are the crewmates, and you're working together to complete objectives that you like pull from an objective slash events deck. And once you've completed X number of objectives, you've met the escape condition, but then everyone has to escape individually or something. Yeah. And then just have the aliens be random elements or something triggered by an event card that is drawn. So, or
There's
maybe like there's some cards that are like, oh, you do a thing, like you complete 2 objectives at once, but it alerts the aliens to your location.
mm,
Do X, Y, and Z
this is a
sort of
neutral
thing.
round where nothing happens. So I'm rolling again. There's a rule about splitting the party, but it's risky, and I'm avoiding risk this time.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've rolled one, which means I could re-roll that, but a 5 is quite high, so I won't. But I have rolled a 6, which means one of the survivors is dead after the
Whoops.
round's over. But look how high the aliens rolled.
I think this random number generator hates you.
I think it does. The atmosphere hates me. Random.org uses atmospheric emissions to generate true
Mm.
random numbers
Oh, wow.
rather than like a computerized RNG thing,
Mm.
which has bias and is not truly random. Okay. So 4 6s is 24 plus another 6 is 30. So can I beat 30 to 8, 13, 18, 22? No, I did not. And one of my survivors died. which means I have to remove 2 dice
And so it begins.
once again. Okay. I've gotten 2 ones again, but again, they're kind of high, so I'll keep them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, 20. The aliens have 20. We have 13, 17. So
Oh, close.
close.
And we also lost another crew member.
Did I? Oh god, I did. Bugger. Captain has mentioned the board game Nemesis, which is similar to Aliens. Have you heard of this one?
I don't play a whole lot of board games these days.
Me neither.
Nemesis board game.
I have played. I can't remember the name of it now. It's a kind of card game that has lots of different themed things, and one of them was an alien one.
Yeah, this is a big, like, I need my whole coffee table for this. Wow.
14.
Lots of minis and a board and pieces everywhere.
Got close there, but no dice. Getting overwhelmed here. Wait, what happened there? No, that was right. Wait, did it just reroll? Ugh, sorry. I'm going to reroll. Scratch that last round, whatever happened. Oh no, 2 of my survivors just died. Good lord.
Okay, maybe start with less aliens on the board.
I'm just counting that up. I think that's 19. Yeah, this round's over. Let's do that. Let's start with 15 dice. So it neatly fits in one row at the start.
Yeah.
Reroll the reroll. So we've got 5 aliens here, and there's some lucky buggers. But I do have some ones. I'm gonna re-roll this one using my physical dice.
Okay.
Oh, it got a 6 on the inner die. Diabolical. So 1, 2, 3. I think I've just lost 2 survivors in the first round and didn't kill any aliens.
Oh, goodness.
So we're down to 11. 2, 3. That's not bad. 7 plus 6 is 13. Oh, they've beat me. But no negative outcomes for me.
Yeah, you didn't lose anyone. Ooh.
Oh, they've rolled so high again.
You do have a reroll available if you want.
I don't want to risk it. I don't think I can get a high enough score from the reroll to overcome the alien score. So we'll just go again. Okay. 11 versus more than 11.
Yeah.
Try again.
Oh,
so
dear.
The only way the survivors die is from the chest bursters, or rather the non-copyright infringing parasites inside.
Yeah.
It's a war of attrition.
Basically.
That's another 6. I've lost another survivor. Nope. Have you ever won this game? I don't believe it ever happened.
I never said it was a well-designed.
It's got interesting concepts, though.
Yeah, I got a decent grade on it just for, it's a good concept, and I put together like a box and everything for it. And the double dice interested him. So, like, yeah.
I also like that it's solo play. because
Yeah.
I don't often get a chance to play board games with other people. And I've just lost another
What kind of
survivor.
class was it? It was a game design class. I went to the DigiPen Institute of Technology here in Redmond, Washington. And at the time, this was a course in the newly created Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science and Game Design. And a lot of the first couple years
Whoa.
of that. Ooh, I think you took
You-
out some, but you also got taken
I'm
out.
dead.
Yeah, you're dead, but you went out in
Completely
a blaze
dead.
of glory. And a lot of the early classes in that revolve around physically
Yahtzee.
prototyping game concepts. So like doing stuff like creating some paper cutouts and doing things on paper or with like cheaply made board game pieces or whatever, just to kind of see if your concept even works or not. So it's sort of like not like making full-fledged board games, but just sort of making physical mock-ups and prototypes of your thing to see if you can sort of plot it out to see how the moving pieces all fit together to see if it's even like a concept worth pursuing. Um, and my courses were taught by Mike Pondsmith of Cyberpunk fame.
Oh, wow.
So, and this class in particular, there were a couple days he brought in Richard Garfield.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
Magic guy.
Mm-hmm. He really liked my ex-wife's card game she made.
Nice. Yes. Gibbon did
Yes,
continue.
I have been in game development for over a decade now. I just wrapped up a contract on Age of Empires 4.
Hmm.
Was the most recent thing I was working on for the past year and change. And this website hasn't been updated yet, but Milo is looking at my portfolio page.
Hmm.
I've worked on VR stuff and amusement park attractions and the America's Army first-person shooter game for America's Army, plus some casual games and other stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. Not all of it is still around, unfortunately, but
No, a lot of
where
it's a bit transient.
that's kind of how games are.
I was doing some engine updates. Like the game was already out when I got brought on the team, and I was updating the engine to better allow them to pipeline new content. So, and my job is done. So, I'll be moving on to other things.
Yeah, hopefully awesome things. So part of this stream is pitching to every game
Oh
development
God, no,
studio
please
out
don't.
there.
Stream over. We're done.
Please hire Gibbon. She's great.
uh,
So some of these other student projects in the digital interactive space that you did while you were there haven't been archived, but there's some footage of them on your YouTube. Do you mind if we show some
yeah,
of
go
that?
for it.
Okay. So there's this sort of demo reel here.
Oh Lord, this thing. This was a reel I put together for. Yeah, that's my name.
Sorry.
Um, this is just a bunch of student project stuff thrown together in a demo reel for career day at school. So yeah, that was a game called Chuck, where you ate everything and spat it back out Kirby style. Except
That's
you
a
were a
cute
little
concept.
like elementary school kid.
Yeah, I like that
It
one.
had very crude humor. We were not allowed to continue working on it, although it did make our teachers crack up. Um, Mega Ninja Pirate Mice was uh, there was a rapid prototyping class where
Oh, cool.
every week we'd have
And
to
that's
do a
like interactive
completely different
fiction.
game design based on the same fictional IP,
Oh, yeah.
which was Mega Ninja Pirate Mice.
You see stuff
Um,
like this on Itch all the time these days, so, like, that's cool.
I did those rats But yeah, like the backgrounds I obviously just pulled from Google,
Mm.
but I did like throw that together in like a visual novel engine.
Is this in the same universe?
That's also Mega Ninja Fire
Right,
Mice.
right, cool.
That's just a quick Unity mock-up.
Mm.
I did some very very shoddy terrain generation. This was a tower defense prototype. Yeah.
That's cute. Those are
Um,
Pokemon graphics, aren't they? For the terrain.
mm, maybe, probably. Um, this was a level design course. This was a level in Unreal I threw together.
Yeah, this looked
Um,
interesting. Playing as
there
a.
is a scenario involved. You have to like go ring all the bells and
Mm.
do stuff. It was supposed to be a bit more involved. I didn't really know what I was doing at this point. um, I got a decent grade on the level itself since I did a good job of making like an area you go through as opposed to like a gamey level, if that makes sense. Um, so yeah. Hmm?
It's just looking at chat. Danger Mouse and Captain are
Hmm.
digging
Yeah.
the prototypes there.
It's a real shame the Unity web player doesn't work for Underminer because it's fucking
Yeah.
fun.
So this wasn't in
Um,
the demo reel, but this looks
this
interesting too.
this was the senior project that I turned in. I worked on this completely by myself. It was really fun. I had to like get my laptop back from people who were playtesting it for me because
Yeah,
they
it looks
kept
great.
trying to like beat their highest scores. It was very arcadey.
Mm.
My professor hated it. He gave me the lowest possible passing grade and a
Oh,
comment
man.
of, "I guess this is good enough." Well,
Ugh.
fuck you. um,
Ugh.
I really don't like that guy. I won't name names here on a stream, but
Yeah, well, I disagree. I think this looks pretty cool.
yeah, no, everybody else did too. This same professor also attempted to fail me from the course and accused me of basically just attaching my name to stuff my ex-wife had done as like oh, and I helped. Um, yeah, we took him to task for that.
Yeah, that's very
Um,
unprofessional of him.
for reference, my ex-wife is fucking awesome. And most recently worked on Psychonauts 2. She's in that documentary they put up.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, this was really fun. I was proud of this. I threw this together in a few weeks because I kept having to do something different because he fucking hated whatever I tried to turn in. So eventually I was just like, no, this is really fun. I'm turning this in. I don't care if he doesn't like it.
I could see this easily being a mobile game or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not optimized well. It's not really being shown here, but every time you like went up to the next like gold tier, it would like judder and pause as it generated all the new terrain.
Yeah, the
If
map
I were
expands.
gonna make it a mobile game, I would make it like a world that wraps around, and I'd make the tiles just sort of like fill in after a set time period as opposed to staying gone. Oh no, my ex is awesome. We just split because the marriage wasn't working out, not because we weren't still friends. So, but
It's
yeah,
very
so
healthy,
those are.
I think.
I mean, I wasn't super happy about it at the time, but in retrospect, it was the correct decision.
Yeah,
I
so
think the only thing we argued about during the divorce was who was going to be stuck with Final Fantasy 13 and who got which Pixar films. I got Wreck-It Ralph. I gave her everything else. No, I got Wreck-It Ralph and The Incredibles, and she got the rest of the Pixar movies. And I snuck Final Fantasy 13 into her bag before I drove her to the airport.
So there's some other interesting looking ones here on the
Yeah,
website.
I'm sad the web player doesn't work anymore. I'll see if I can't find the original project file, and if I can't find it, I don't know, maybe I'll just make it again. uh,
Yeah, it was interesting reading about some of these other ones too. I really want to try them,
yeah,
but yeah, no good.
yeah,
Some of them didn't really make it too far in development.
no.
So yeah, so that was like an expansion of chess with some interesting stuff. This is a kind of action platformer, which
That
looks pretty
one
cool.
did get made.
Mm.
That was a small project with two of my friends. One of which is still doing indie work under Red Hat Studios, I think.
Oh, nice.
I was just talking to him earlier because I still do some what will is loosely called on my resume as consulting work.
Mm.
Um, okay, I don't think Red Hat Studios is what it is. He goes by Red Hat in a lot of places. I'll
Mm.
have to look up what it is. Um,
And this was a rhythm-based ASCII art like exploration
yeah,
game, which
that
sounded really
one was
interesting.
really cool. I did a lot of art for that. That's on my DeviantArt page, actually.
Oh yeah.
Um, that was yeah, it was sort of like a classic text-based adventure game. When I started the degree, the design degree didn't exist, so I was in the RTIS, the real-time interactive simulations field, and this was our freshman game, and the rules for freshman games under the dearly departed Professor Earhart, we miss you every day, was that you can't use any graphics. It's got to be text based because you're just learning how to make games. You shouldn't worry about it looking good. That's not the point. So we had some rudimentary ASCII drawings and then like descriptions, and you did the classical like go left, grab fork, run from enemy sort of thing. But then the battles were what we will loosely call rhythm based, in that like there'd be things passing by and you had to like, oh, there's some of my art. You'd have to
Nice.
like time the hit, sort of thing. Yeah, no, we had some. I had some cool teammates. They went on and made some
Mm.
cool senior projects that won some awards that I was not involved in. Um, but yeah,
This art's nice and creepy.
yeah, um, yeah. It was about kind of like waking up. It's sort of partially inspired by Mist, but spookier. You know, you wake up on
Ooh,
an island, you're not sure what's going on, and you gradually find out about the people who used to live here, and there's like the ghost of a daughter and a haunted cello and some other stuff. Um,
can I show your DeviantArt
oh
page?
sure,
Okay. Specimen
I can't
A.
remember what's public on there. Yeah, Svespene used to be my old web handle everywhere.
Mm.
It's a Final Fantasy VII reference.
Ah,
Um, that those sketches there with the like the crab thingy and the girl,
mm.
those were for a senior project that didn't get off the ground called Lure of the Abyss. That was the elevator pitch for that was Shadow the Colossus but underwater.
Nice.
And
I like it.
for a senior project, the scope was going to be a single level that you swam through, little to no enemies except for the one boss. We were basing the swimming mechanics off of how they worked in Monster Hunter Tri,
Oh yeah.
and we were just going to have a big boss fight. And that was going to be a really like a detailed underwater corridor you swam through to a boss, and that was going to be the whole thing. Um, but it didn't end up working out for various reasons.
This horror themed game, you wanted to have an E rating?
Eh,
That
I've
is a
seen lots of things
challenge.
have E rating. Yeah. Okay, that's enough of my deviant.
Okay, cool. Well, I think we've sort of encapsulated your student era. There's a couple of the so there's this other physical game here that's a tabletop party-based thing, and there's an expansion on chess, which is interesting, but not something I can really show too well on the stream. So the next playable thing I've got is from when you were working at Fugazo.
Yeah, let's just go. Like, Three Color Jumper was a shitty little infinite jumper I made when I was teaching myself Android development. I don't believe it's up anymore.
It's not.
It's fine. It's
I couldn't
still
even find it
sold
on third-party
iPhone.
app stores either.
Yeah, nobody even bothered pirating it. I think the only purchases I ever got were my parents buying the
Aw.
game. I've got a copy of it installed on my phone. That's it. Fire Knives. This cooking game. Think like Cooking Mama. That's really what it was, basically. I just put together like the menus and stuff for that. Yeah, didn't work on the games proper.
This is a short story. You should all read it. It's very good.
Yeah, that's the professionally published Doctor Who short story that I am a published Doctor Who author. I have a Goodreads page and a page on the TARDIS wiki. I am cooler than you. Get over it.
This is very true.
I'm very proud of
Iris
that story, actually.
It's called Samsara. There it is.
Yeah, that was an anniversary collection. The pitch was like, do your own version of Iris. So
The many
mine
irises.
was a regeneration story into a Bollywood Iris.
Is yours on the cover here?
I don't think so.
Don't think so.
I think those are all the official irises.
Oh, okay, sure. But of course, there are many irises.
You can buy it from Obverse Publishing.
Yes.
And
Obverse
that is
books.
Obverse Books.
I didn't show that part, sorry. You can get an ebook or a paper
An ebook. It might be on Amazon. Let's see if it's on Amazon. Well, Iris Wild Time is on Amazon, but is this book? It is!
Ooh.
Oh, no, they have a listing for it, but only to tell you it's unavailable. So yeah, you'll have to go to Obverse's site.
It's okay, you can buy an ebook right here. Seems pretty simple. So Iris Wildtime is like a parody of the Doctor, and her likeness for her main version is based on
Katie Manning.
Thank you, Katie Manning, who played Jo Grant in the show.
Yeah.
Yes. She exists only in spin-off media.
She travels around in a time-traveling double-decker bus that is smaller on the inside.
Her main companion is a panda toy.
Yep. Yeah, she's great. I love her. She doesn't so much solve problems as she does find new and interesting ways to get a martini in interesting situations.
All right. Can we play our next game?
Sure.
Cool. So tell me about Rocket Claw.
Rocket Claw was an existing concept. There is a non-web version of this game somewhere, maybe. I don't know. I was tasked with doing a HTML version of the game, which plays a little differently because I did not have the original source code for the game. I basically just used the assets and created something with them. And this was when HTML5 was new and interesting, and we were exploring the market at Fugazo. I believe based off of this and another project that I wasn't involved with was how we got, which was how we got on Nintendo's radar, which is why they asked us for, we were one of the studios they asked for pitches when they were doing their big, like,
oh god,
eShop.
This game is so loud, I'm sorry.
I can't hear anything on the screen share.
I'm
Feel
actually going to
free to
mute the
turn it
game
down.
just so we can
Yep,
hear what you're
do
saying,
it.
which is a lot more
Mm-hmm.
interesting than
Oh,
the game's
wow.
volume.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Um, so yeah, we did some pitches for Nintendo. They ultimately went nowhere. I really liked the first pitch we did for Nintendo.
Mm.
It was for the Wii U, and it would have been a Super Sentai parody game where, with the four Wiimotes and the gamepad, you'd have to strike poses and yell out things to activate supers for the giant robot you and four other people were controlling to fight the giant monsters. Um, it demoed really well. Nintendo said it was great. They ultimately got back to us and said they couldn't accept it because Miyamoto was working on Project Giant Robot and it might like have some overlap.
They didn't
And
tell
then
you it was.
Giant Robot never
Yeah,
came out.
they didn't tell you it was Giant Robot, did they? They just said it was something they were working on.
They
Is that right?
specifically said it was something Miyamoto was working
Yeah.
on.
And then when you saw it being
And
announced, you were like, "That's the
Giant
one."
Giant Robot was the only thing announced that we didn't get to see, and I just have to assume that's what it was.
Yeah. So this is terrible.
Um,
Miyamoto is directly responsible for canceling an
then
awesome
we
game that Gibbon was
the
working on.
next thing we pitched was like a vaguely Takamaru's Castle themed, like little. It was sort of Captain Toadish, where you'd have like a little level that you could like pan the camera around, and you have to like figure out how to get out of the ninja escape room sort of thing. You know how like Ninja Castle is a popular like a little fun fair attraction in Japan sort of thing.
Mm.
So it was kind of set up like that, and they said, that was nice and quaint, but they'd pass. So we just kind of deflated a little bit after the Super Sentai game got passed on because we were all pretty passionate about that.
Mm.
Man,
Yeah.
this gets
It's too
hectic.
bad.
There were some other things that we pitched for various places that, either went well or didn't go well. There was one project in particular that I was on. Um, we When Sharknado 2 was coming out, we got asked to pitch a mobile game for it, and we asked like what they had in mind, and the guy was like, as long as you don't just pitch us a Temple Run reskin, I'm sure you'll be fine. So I mocked up like a Fruit Ninja reskin over the weekend, and where you chainsawed sharks that were being flung at you from a tornado. And they loved that, and they needed to wait for the exec to get back from GDC so they could like have him sign off on the contracts for us. And he got back from GDC,
Oh.
and he'd given the contract to one of his friends while he was there, so we did not get it. And when the game came out, it was a Temple Run reskin.
Good lord.
And the other one specifically that I was involved on a lot was an Adventure Time game. Nickelodeon Studios came to us and said, "Hey, will you put together a doc and a demo for an Adventure Time game? Here's the specs. We want it to have like light RPG elements and X, Y, and Z." And was that the Toys to Life project? No, the Toys to Life thing was a Ninja Turtles thing, and I wasn't involved in that. Um, But since I was the only one who'd seen Adventure Time at the studio, I was put in charge of the design pitch. So for a couple weeks, I poured over every episode and comic book that currently existed. They were in the middle of season 5 at the
Oops.
time, and I put together this pitch for an RPG for them. and did a little like demo slice and whatever, and we sent it off to Cartoon Network, and they got back to us and they said, "Hey, we really love this. Our internal guys really love this. They love it so much that they want to do it themselves. Thanks for the design doc. Bye."
Oops. Just realized I haven't been showing the whole
And
thing.
yeah, I got really sour about that.
Yeah, no wonder.
I stopped watching Adventure Time. I didn't buy any more Adventure Time games. I don't know if any of the games that came out after that point in time were based on my design or not. Um, I think the most recent one to come out before that was Hey Ice King for the 3DS.
Mm.
So it was really early.
You make the industry sound so cutthroat.
I mean, it kind of is.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a lot of fun working on all these, and they make good stories, but
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes stuff doesn't work out.
So this was all while you're at Fugazo, is that right?
Yep,
Cool.
I was at Fugazo for like 2.5, no, like 1.5 to 2 years, closer to 2 years. The company unfortunately went under. We had a string of just stuff not working out in our favor. It was the beginning of the transition to games as a service model
Oh, yeah.
in the industry, and like microtransaction stuff and whatever. So before, we had primarily been making stuff that was published by Big Fish Games the kind of caliber of thing we were making was generously what I would describe as things you'd find on the rack at like the checkout bin in a Staples, you know?
Yeah.
And all of this stuff that Milo is showing today, or kind of side things that I was tasked with doing, because my main task was I was the sole dev on a game called Golden Ticket, which is unfortunately no longer up because it was one of Big Fish Games' first live service titles, and the servers are no longer running, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, Big
Probably
Fish
because they
have
fucked
delisted
them up
it.
some. They threw me under the bus. I'm so mad at them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Um, they accidentally rolled back the servers and deleted a bunch of purchases from people, and they blamed it on me. And I was told
What?
in no uncertain terms that I was not allowed to go on the forums and say, "Hey, this wasn't my fucking fault." Um,
Good
and
lord.
they were like, "So is there any way to fix this?" So I'm like, "Well, you just, you restore from those backups I told you that you needed." And they're like, um, so yeah. And it was not really Roller Coaster Tycoon. It was like, imagine somebody made a new Roller Coaster Tycoon,
Arr.
but like it was in the style of Farmville.
The replay button was down there. That's why I couldn't reach it. I
Mm,
hadn't expanded the window. Well, now
um,
that we're talking about that, I'll just
yeah,
click on Golden
yeah.
Ticket.
Bring up some screenshots. So
Yeah.
you lay down your park attractions and stuff, and there's little meeples that wander around, um, and visit the attractions, and you bring in income. So it's got a little bit of that sort of roller coaster tycoon aspect, except you're not actually like making any of the rides. You're just like placing them and laying out. You get to like build all the paths and stuff
Mm.
and do all the like the tiling of terrain and whatnot. It was like, it was fun. Like I did that whole thing myself. I coded the entire thing. We were using a licensed older version of PopCap's engine. Not the one for Plants vs. Zombies, but the one they were using before that. So I think the last game that it was used on by them was Insane Aquarium. Um, and yeah, I was working on that for a good like 15 months. And yeah, I'm proud of all the work I did on that. None of it's accessible anymore.
Yeah, that's really sad that
So
you can't play them anymore. So this is like an archived version of Fugazo's website from 2015.
mhm.
This is like the release thing for Golden Ticket, but the title is wrong. Can't fix
Yep,
it now.
it sure is.
But yeah, this is the kind of thing that they worked on. That's Cooking Academy that we talked about.
Bomb Buds was the other project of the company that got us on Nintendo's radar.
Okay. I don't know if that image is going to load. Oh,
Probably
there it
not.
is.
Oh, it might. It was an asymmetrical multiplayer,
Mm.
sort of. I don't know, sort of like Worms a little bit.
Okay, okay.
That you like position your guys and they could like fire off at each other and stuff.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Good concept. I like the art style too.
Yeah, I didn't have anything to do with that one.
Yeah.
There were some cool people on the team though. Um, oh, what? There's
So this is the one game that they put on a Nintendo platform because they released this on WiiWare.
mhm.
Frobot,
Yep.
which has that kind of cheesy kind of blaxploitation
Yeah.
kind of style.
Hmm. That was before I got at the company. I think that's the only reason we were even like in Nintendo's Rolodex in the first place
Mm.
was the fact that like they'd done this previously. So, yeah.
So another series that Fugazo had a lot of entries in was World Mosaics.
Yep. A shameless P-Cross clone.
And a lot of these are still on Big Fish's website.
They're big sellers. I actually found these at like physical copies of these at a local store once.
But there's another tragedy in Gibbon's career here. It's the only one that she worked on, World Mosaics Chroma,
Yep.
has been delisted.
Oh, what?
Um,
What?
You describe it as the 8th game, which it is according to the portfolio here. You know, it's 7. It comes after that. But there's an actual one with the number 8 after that
What?
does still exist,
Okay.
which kind of
Well,
retroactively labels it as a spin-off or something, I guess.
I did not buy a physical copy. I probably should have, now that I was thinking about it. But
But you can still play this game. I went to Softpedia
ooh.
and got so a lot of sites like mirror the Big Fish trial download. And so if you get like a clean copy of that and then install that in the Big Fish launcher, you can still play World Mosaics Chroma.
Oh my goodness.
So I'll show you that. Here's the Big Fish client. Here's the game in there. Actually, first I'll just talk a little bit about what you've written about it. So World Mosaics Chroma, 8th game in the World Mosaics series. It utilizes multicolor puzzles, which a lot of Picross clones and then even the official ones started doing at some point. You did a lot of cool stuff on this one. Programmer, co-developed map screen, world transitions, implementing animation system, dynamic loading and unloading of assets.
Yeah, like, the other two programmers did like all the puzzle stuff, and I was the person who had to like make all the stuff in between the puzzles work.
Right.
So
So since I got this working, let's give it a play.
ooh.
Nope.
Oh, that fucking logo.
This one.
Um,
We only briefly saw it there on stream, but yeah. Fugazo.
which is a portmanteau of fun game zone.
Huh. I thought it was an Italian word.
Nope.
Fugazzo. Fugazzo.
Fugazo.
Okay, so this does take a little while to load, but it does work.
Yep. Skip.
Oh yeah, I was just worried that this was mandatory. It didn't
Did you
do
not
this.
test this beforehand?
No, I did. I launched it and it didn't do this.
Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
oh god, thank goodness.
Mm.
Okay,
Oh man.
just turn the volume down so we can hear you better.
Okay.
Yep, that looks good.
Huzzah.
Okay. Oh, credits.
Ooh. Who's in these? Cleaver Limb. That was my boss. I think he's at Pokemon Company now.
Wow.
Roger Campbell was one of the artists. Ewan and Aaron, they're cool. Aaron, oh, additional programming. That's me.
Yay.
Matt's real cool. These are all the same names. Yep.
And then there's the big wigs. We can skip that. All right, let's play it. Agency of Atlantis report, DC Division. A series of devices were stolen from a secret facility here at the agency. Most of them held unknown powers, but the bulk of them were ancient Atlantean uncolorizers. If activated, these had the ability to slowly remove all the color from the planet. The culprit also seemed to have the ability to teleport through time and space, like our agents, using something similar to our quantum hourglass. This is really in-depth. I've been given a recolorizer and tasked with repairing the damage that the culprit has inflicted thus far. Cool.
This is like really early days of mobile game design, you know, where you've got the little winding map. This is very like Plants vs. Zombies 1 and 2 or Candy Crush sort of world map, you know?
Yeah, I can see it. All right. Oh yeah. Yes, I know how to play Picross.
Yeah, right. The thrilling story of the P-Cross series.
There are a few.
Yeah, the early ones actually did have stories. They were Mario was an archaeologist and uncovering ancient ruins, and Wario was out to stop him. The canceled Game Boy Color Pokemon P-Cross actually had a story.
So
well,
you have
maybe
to
not story,
mandatory
like,
cross out. Okay.
Yeah. One or two others might have had story elements.
There's a lot of indie clones that do.
I think the ones that are like Overlord or Kimono Friends tie-ins and stuff, like the anime tie-ins, those have some light story elements to them as well, I think.
Yeah, those are the ones I haven't played. Oh, this is a 5x6. That's interesting. What? Ugh. Can I not skip the tutorial? Yes, I can finish it. Okay. I love Picross.
Yeah, Picross is great.
You must have been pretty stoked to work on one.
Yeah,
like an unofficial one. It's a bell.
Oh man, it's even got the stars and the score. This is such a mobile game.
Were these games available on mobile?
I don't think so. I don't think phone gaming had quite progressed that far. We did work with DNA on something.
Oh yeah.
They are so fucking shameless. They got in touch with us and said they wanted to do a Bomb Buds reskin and figured the cheapest option would just be to subcontract us to do it for them.
Okay.
It was like, what the fuck, guys? But also, yes, we'll take your money. They were horrible to work with. I don't know how they ever got anything done.
It's always a bit of plot. That's lovely. I like that.
Yeah.
So Captain's asking about the Tamagotchi Picross. Tamagotchi Field Guide is the name of it. It's a little LCD device that I imported from Japan. And when he saw it, he was like, oh, I want that too. I did completely finish it, all the puzzles. I think there were, God, how many were there? I think it was 3 sets of 50 or 20. No, 3 sets of 25 for 75 total, I think, from memory. Okay. Oh, colors. That's interesting. See, there's stuff here that the official Picross games never do, with varying the shape of the grid. That's really interesting.
I mean, with how often they crank these out, I wouldn't be surprised if they started doing these sorts of things.
This is, I don't understand.
So this is not like how the official Picross series does colors. Official Picross has all the color numbers on the grid at the same time, and you have to coordinate between all of those. This is you switch between basically what your color grid numbers are.
Okay. It's an interesting way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, considering Andrew Lim basically thought up how this would work himself without really having anything to work off of, since there weren't like any, like actual color Picross games from Nintendo to copy.
Oh, so I could put a pin here and then switch, and they'll still be empty in the other color. Okay, cool. Whole new mechanic to master here. So one thing I wasn't sure of about this, oops, what did I do? What? Oh, it swapped me to the other color when I filled out the blue. Okay, cool. Yeah, I wasn't sure if this is just the 1 hour free trial that you get with Big Fish Games, or whether it's just the whole game, because it's not technically part of their ecosystem anymore. So we might be kicked out after an hour, but that'll be fine. That's my plan for the rest of the stream, is just to play this, if that's okay.
I mean, that's your stream.
Cool. Captain saying he just wanted to get the Tamagotchi Picross game because of how cool it was. It's an LCD Picross that works.
That does sound cool.
It's a really cool novelty. Honestly, I haven't played many of the Jupiter Switch Picross games because I always loved playing them on the 3DS with the physical stylus on the physical touchscreen, as opposed to the capacitive screen.
I think they do have touch screens.
They have started implementing it now. So I actually played the Mega Drive and Master System one. And after I'd finished playing it, they then updated it to have support for capacitive styluses. But that's apparently becoming a standard feature in their Switch Picross installments now, which is nice.
They seem to have patched it into the rest of the older ones as well.
Yeah. So now I feel like I can go back and play them all and enjoy them a lot more now.
I prefer using a controller myself. I totally understand if that's your preferred control scheme. I want them to port Picross 3D over to the Switch.
Yeah, those ones are really interesting.
Yeah, they are.
There's one on the DS and one on the 3DS.
Yep.
Okay.
More mobile game-isms, power-ups and stuff.
Yeah, I noticed that there was a store icon on the menu, on the map screen. So presumably you can buy more power-ups there. Making Picross into a live service game. Jupiter tried it with the new Pokemon Picross and with their Final Fantasy Picked Logica game. And I don't think either of them really work that well.
Nah. Picross X is not live servicey, but you can buy like skins and stuff for it.
What's that?
Their latest one, Picross X, is I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. It's a bit off kilter. You have these little anthropomorphized Pickbit creatures, and it's like the theme of the game is you're these little things and you're trying to defend yourselves from like the Beetlejuicean sandworm thing that's trying to eat you. And it's kind of doing speed Picross. Like you have to complete puzzles to fill up a meter to get away from the worm. And you can buy different skins for the little critters and the worm and the playfield and stuff. And it's all very sort of, you know, hot topic-y in aesthetic.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like, you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about if you look at the store page for it. Oh, Pickbits, that is what they're called.
Alright, see you, Captain. Thanks for hanging out.
But, like, they're not actual, like, pictures. They're just, like, complete these little mini puzzles, and they also have, like, bomb power-ups and stuff like that, too. So...
Yeah, the mobile version of Picked Logica Final Fantasy was all mini puzzles, and there's a mini puzzle like mode in the 3DS one where you do battles, and I never liked it.
Played that one.
Yeah, it was Japan only.
I wonder if this is expanding on that gameplay.
Yeah, hearing you describe it, I do wonder if that's what it is.
Only, like, not branded to Final Fantasy. But yeah, in general, I like the Picross series.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome.
I had company over the weekend, and I was playing Picross during some downtime. And they're like, "Oh, my friend was playing this. He had to like count out loud as he was placing things, and you're just zooming through these." And I'm like, "Well, I have been playing these for when the heck did the Super Nintendo one come out?" It was like, I have been playing these since 1995. So, like...
I've been playing them since I got Picross DS, and that was not at launch. I got it long after its
DS
release.
Was a good one, and
it
that
is
was like after a gap. That was like the first one in 7 years. Like they did a ton on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
And then, like, nothing.
Well,
and then Picross DS.
The original Pokemon Picross on the Game Boy Color that was never released, that would have been in between, wouldn't it?
That was still going to be released in 2000, though.
Mm.
So the
gap would have been slightly smaller.
Well, no, because the last Picross NP volume was in 2000.
Oh, was
The
it?
last
Okay, sure.
several were in 2000. Like, those went into 2000, and I think
Yeah.
Picross, Pokemon Picross would have been, like, in between a couple of those. So, it still would have been a 7-year gap. And change.
Right. Of course.
And it just kind of baffles me, because you'd think Picross would, be sort of ideal for Game Boy Color or GBA or whatever,
Yeah.
but they just kind of stopped making them for a long time. And then Picross DS went over really well and sort of jump-started them doing them again. They did the Picross E line on the 3DS, and now the Picross S line on the Switch. And just kind of put out like 2 a year, basically. Haven't had any this year yet. I wonder what the first one of the year is going to be. Do you think it's going to be S9 or X2 or something new?
Yeah, it depends if
It's gonna
X
be another,
did well.
like, crossover game.
What crossover game would you like to see?
Oh, that's a good question. We've had Sanrio and Friends Picross on 3DS.
That was good.
We've had Kimono Friends Picross on Switch. We had Picross the Lord of Nazarick, which was the Overlord tie-in on Switch. We had the
Twilight
Sega
Princess
Master System and Mega Drive. We had Twilight Princess. I'm just thinking of, like, out of Nintendo crossovers,
Sure.
but we did have, like, Pokemon and Twilight Princess. I wouldn't mind seeing another like Zelda one or something. Maybe expanding on that Piclogica Picross X sort of battle Picross concept, but applying it to, like, Zelda or something. Theme it with, like, the bomb power-ups and whatever. Maybe get some of Link's power-ups in there.
Interesting.
Do a little adventure Zelda game, but with Picross elements. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what they come up with. Just another anime tie-in could be cool too. I don't know what anime I'd pick though. I wouldn't have thought they'd do Overlord of all things.
Yeah,
So,
were you familiar with that?
Yeah, it's a series I follow. It's very graphic and gratuitous.
Okay. An interesting
It's,
choice then.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's the word. I was very confused. I was like, wait, did Nintendo sign off on this? What? But, like, Picross is their brand for the nonogram, so yeah, I think they had to sign off on it. I found it interesting that, like, other major game companies have kind of tried to do their own Picross series at times. There were a couple brands that, like, tried to get a regular thing going on, like PlayStation. Like PlayStation 1. Nothing really stuck, though.
I liked
until
Picross.
Picross...
Konami's version on smart devices.
I liked it, except for the, like, energy mechanic where you can only do so many in an hour.
Especially with the boss puzzles. You had to wait hours for them to recharge.
It was really dumb.
Yeah.
Also, they didn't have a Yokotsuki puzzle, so
True.
0 out of 10.
Whoops. I'm making mistakes. Oh well. That was just a misclick.
Konami puts Getsufumi and references in the weirdest places.
They seem to really like it.
They do seem to really like it, which makes it all the more baffling that they just abandoned that game.
Yeah, Undying Moon.
Yeah. It's weird. They're like, okay, we're just going to abandon Undying Moon and ghost the server and just not talk to anybody ever again But we're also adding like 3 more Getsufumiden characters to Bomber Girl, and like, yeah, I don't get it. The latest character added to Bomber Girl is another Getsufumiden reference character.
Wow.
So
Yeah, I haven't been keeping up with it.
I mean, I keep up with it to the extent that I'm like the one who updates the wikis and
Yeah.
stuff. I've had some people be like, "Can you like bother Konami and just get stewardship of the official Getsufumiden server?" I'm like, I don't know if they'd do that. I don't know if they'd even respond because they stopped responding to anybody. But I guess I can ask. Konami is setting up a dedicated console gaming studio again, so I don't know. Maybe
Oh.
they'll come back to Undying Moon.
I can only hope.
Yeah. I should data mine it again and see if there's anything I missed or if there's anything useful that modders can do something with. 'Cause there was
I'm
a lot
impressed.
that was like in development. I think these shaped playing fields are interesting, but
Yeah.
they're also kind of cheating. Like, we didn't feel like crafting the numbers such that you arrive at this shape naturally, so we just made the field this shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. But
Like, it
It
definitely
is-
makes it easier from
Yeah.
the perspective of, God, how the fuck do we come up with these puzzles? But see, then they fill in the full picture as if it were a square. It's like, what?
yeah, that's cheap.
That's cheating.
I assume there'll be more colors later on.
I honestly can't remember.
Obviously, getting combos is the key to the high score because I haven't been doing very well at that lately.
Mm.
Nope. Nope. Well, no. Ah. Once you click, you can't unclick. Well, once you get custom firmware on your 3DS, you should download Pictlogica Final Fantasy.
I should, yeah. I kind of want to go through the entire Picross series. I'm not gonna do it in order because some of those older ones are arduous.
Yes, they are.
I was playing the one, the Mario's Picross on NSO, and I'm like, I have very fond memories of this. Wow, some of this is rough.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I started Picross 2 by, I think, emulating it on my PSP.
I
Um,
own, I got a copy of it.
Yeah, I did as well,
Yeah,
but my GBASP is like stuffed. So,
Oh.
yeah. But yeah, I didn't end up finishing it because I just, yeah, it got too much. Somehow.
I wonder why they never released Pokemon Picross. Like, I took a look at it and I'm like, this looks
Oops.
pretty great. Why didn't you release this?
I played through it and I had complaints.
No, yeah?
Yeah, like what you're filling in on the grid is not a sprite of a Pokemon. It's like it's it's like an area within which there is a Pokemon, and then when you complete it, it like fills in within that. So it just kind of breaks the concept of Picross where you're drawing an object.
I see.
And they had the whole game like this, so that's not the part that was unfinished that led to it being cancelled. I think it's because that concept that they came up with just didn't work, and I'm surprised it got as far as it did before being cancelled. Really. So yeah, I found it pretty unsatisfying to play through, really.
Well, I'll play through it as part of my series go through, but we'll see how I feel about it.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on it.
But yeah, like if you're not actually doing pictures of Pokemon, I'm not sure what the point is.
Well, you do end up with a picture of a Pokemon, but
that's not what you're doing with the puzzles.
Yeah, it's hard to describe what it is, but it's just, it's not like one-to-one.
The Twilight Princess one's good though.
It's so good. I really like that one.
And all the Picross NP volumes are good. Was there a Pokemon entry in those Picross NP volumes?
I don't think so. I think it was all first-party stuff. So there was like Donkey Kong Country, Wario Land, Ocarina of Time, Mario 64. There were 8 of them. I think there was a Lilac Wars one, like a Star Fox one.
Oh, there were Pokemon in NP1.
Oh, there we go. See, I forgot. That's cool.
It wasn't like the whole game, but yeah.
No, yeah, it's just a set of like 15 puzzles, I think, for each of these character ones.
Yeah.
That was probably tying into Pokemon Stadium or something. Because a lot of them were promotion for 64 games or Game Boy Color games.
1999, yeah. NP2 had... Let's see, who's in the characters for NP2? Looks like Yoshi's Story. Yoshi's Story characters.
Story, yeah.
It's
Pachyderm. Miss Warp, yeah, she's cool.
I love Yoshi's Story. Fuck the haters.
I'm a hater.
Oh, I can't be friends with Milo anymore.
Aw, that's too bad.
Oh no. The Picross wiki doesn't have a full catalog of Picross NP3. Oh, it says NP3 had Kirby characters.
Okay. There's game FAQs, like solution pages that for all of them.
NP4 had Star Fox 64.
Yeah, yeah.
NP5 had Ocarina of Time. NP6 had Super Mario 64. Bit of a late promotion. Ooh, NP7 had Wario Land 2.
Yep.
And NP8
is Hen one of them?
Country.
Wario's pet chicken Hen. Is she one of them?
Ooh, I don't know. It's not showing me the solutions here.
She's
on the
like
wiki.
the best Wario series character.
This Picross wiki is kind of disappointing, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Are you going to take that one over too?
No. I'm in charge of too many and I ignore a lot of them. I need to... I kind of abandoned the Conquer one because the Rare Wiki project set up their own Conquer page. But like, I guess nobody was using it because they got rid of it and it now redirects to the fandom wiki that I'm in charge of.
No.
And it's like, crap, no. Don't give me this.
Oh man.
I don't know. There's just like not a lot of new Conquer stuff comes out for me to update the wiki with. And so it's mainly just kind of checking in every once in a while to make sure people aren't being dumb about it.
I guess you could document the Fangamer merchandise.
Oh, that's true.
That's a new thing that comes out sometimes.
True, it is.
See, I'm getting to the point now where actively swapping between the colors is strategic. So that's interesting. So I don't know how much content is in this game, but
lots.
I think my goal here will be to just finish World 1.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we can stop.
Sounds good.
Oops. But this is really good. Like, I've never played a Picross game with left click and right click, but it works really well.
Yeah.
When you're using a stylus, you have to press one of the buttons on the device to swap between mark and cross.
That's one reason I like actual button controls on a controller.
Yeah, it is a bit more comfortable for your hands for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, I misclicked. This game also has a very chill atmosphere that I enjoy. So, what have you been playing lately, Gibbon?
You ask me this every week. Why do you do that?
It's because I run out of things to talk
The
about.
answer
I don't want to
hasn't
make conversation.
changed. The answer has not changed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Why are you putting me under pressure like this?
I didn't mean that. I'll
always
tell you
feel
about.
Put so on the spot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's see. There's some things that just came out that are fun. There's this game that just came out called Dredge. That is a fishing. It's not a fishing sim. Fishing RPG-ish.
Oh yeah.
You play on a like a schooner that does dredge fishing with a net. But it kind of gradually gets more Cthulhian as you progress in the game.
So is it anything like the Legend of the River King Fisher? What are they called? The Game Boy ones.
No, Legend of the River King was correct. Yeah. No, it's not like that.
Okay.
You're basically always on the boat in this one. And it's just sort of like as you go around sailing and fishing, you like start encountering things in your nets that are like, what the heck is this?
Oh, I like it.
And then like the areas you're sailing through gradually be like, I don't remember ancient ruins being on my fishing route, sort of thing. It's like, where am I? Why is the sky upside down? Why is the moon red? Sort of thing. But it's fun. It's a fun game.
You're selling me. Sounds good.
What else?
Well, I've started playing Darksiders 3.
I'm sorry.
And I'm very pleased to report that it's a lot better than the first two.
Oh, I just have to go through 2 not good games to get to it.
I don't think you do. I think you can skip ahead to this one, honestly.
See, that's not how I do things.
Same. That's why I started with 1 and suffered through it.
But also, like I had this discussion in school. Like, someone kept urging me to play Uncharted 2. And I was like, why? I didn't like Uncharted 1 at all. And they're like, oh, but 2 is a lot better. And I'm like, but I've already established that I don't like the series. Why would I give 2 a chance? And they're like, because I'm like, yeah, you're telling me now that it's really good. But like, why is it better than 1. They're like, well, it does everything better than 1. I'm like, yeah, but I don't like what 1 was doing at all. So why would I play it? And why would I even think to play it in the first place when I didn't enjoy the first game? Like, how would I naturally come to the conclusion that this is a game I should play? So, like, oh, Darksiders 3 is really good. Cool. I didn't like the first 2. How would I know that the third game was actually good without someone else playing it and telling me it was good and selling me on it?
This is a good point. Can I try and sell you on it?
I mean, you can try, but I'm not going to play it.
Well,
I have so many other things to play.
It's a totally different developer.
Oh, that's a good start.
Different writer, which I think was a weak point in the first game. Completely different gameplay style.
Oh, wow.
So it's sort of a variant on Dark Souls the same way that Jedi Fallen Order was, in that it also has platforming and puzzles.
Oh, I also haven't played that. I probably should, given that we have a friend who works on those.
Yeah. I do recommend that as well. It's very good.
I hear that's really good. I'm just still kind of in my I'm over Star Wars phase.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which isn't even accurate. There is Star Wars I like a lot. It's just a very specific subset of modern Star Wars content.
Yeah, I tried playing Battlefront 2 and I didn't really enjoy it much.
I just want more sequel era stuff.
That Battlefront 2 has sequel era stuff.
Does it?
It was like post-release free DLC content.
Oh, I played the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. That was really good.
Yeah. Nice.
That was really fun.
I've heard it's good, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Climb and Wrench came out. I played that a bit. I don't like it.
Yeah, it feels bad to admit it, but
yeah, I feel really bad about it, especially since so many people in our community seem to really love it.
Oh, do they?
And I'm like, is it just me? Oh, I guess it's just me.
It's not just you, from what I've heard.
I've been playing Hades again.
Oh, cool.
I don't know what, like, I played Hades when it first came out, and I just didn't get into it much. I had other things going on in my life at the time, I guess. But I came back to it. I started a new file over winter break while I was visiting my folks as just sort of something to, play on the plane or play during downtime. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. How did I not get super invested in this the first time I played it? But also there's a lot of content in that game to get there, so I've just kind of been taking it easy. I've been trying not to burn myself out on it.
You got interested in it when they announced the sequel, didn't you? In revisiting it, yeah.
Yeah. When they announced the sequel, I was like, oh, I should go back and do that. Because, like, I didn't dislike it. I just didn't... It was a sort of like, well, I'll come back to that later sort of take, I don't know. It didn't grab me at the time for whatever reason. Well, I know the reason. There was shit going on in my life.
Yeah.
And my brain was occupied by other things. But yeah, no, it's really good. I'm enjoying that. I just installed the demo for that Rusted Moss game that we were talking about on the Umihara server.
Yeah, that's out really soon, isn't it?
Is it?
Because somebody mentioned it, mentioned wishlisting it on Steam, and I went to go and do that and found that I had already done that and then forgotten about it. And I think it said it was out in like a week or something.
Oh, yeah, April 12th. So that'll be next Wednesday.
Nice.
It's fun. I kind of agree with the sentiment on the Umihara server in that I wish you could grapple all surfaces instead of just mossy surfaces. But other than that, yeah.
That's how a lot of grapple games have to balance themselves to not be too to have some constraint.
I mean,
in it.
Umihara also has surfaces you can't grapple, but
Yes.
they're like
What?
instead of specifying the surfaces you can grapple like this does, it specifies the instances where you can't because they're far less common. You know?
Yeah. The way I think of it
neat, though.
a lot is that like Umihara Kawase is a game that is about grappling, but
Yes.
a lot of other games are sort of other things first and grappling second.
Yeah, I don't know. Rusted Moss seems to have it as like a primary mechanic.
Yeah, as a primary mechanic, not the primary mechanic.
True, but it's your primary like mode of transportation around the world. But it also has like it's also a Metroidvania and has enemies and boss fights and stuff. So,
Yeah.
and a story to get through. So. And guns. There's lots of
Yeah.
yes. Which
It's
it's
really
not
more
like
of
we
a-
haven't seen guns in an Umihara style game. There's Mystery.
There's cotton
not-
in Fresh.
And there's Cotton, but
No,
like
yes.
not to this extent.
Cotton could shoot, right?
Yeah.
Curly
and
could.
Cotton couldn't. Curly certainly
Yeah,
could,
yeah. That's what I'm thinking of. Ooh. Kathy's eating fairy bread.
Let's see. What else?
Do you know what fairy bread is?
Is that the bread with frosting and sprinkles on it?
Just butter and sprinkles, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I was
hundreds
probably
and
gonna
thousands,
do
as
another
we
run
call them.
of Hyperlight at some point.
Yeah, I've been
And
meaning
I
to play
have
that too.
Of course, kind of making my way through Breath of the Wild for the third time. Which I have some more free time to do now that my contract is over.
You'll need it, depending on how deep you want to
sure
go on
will. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. My brain's not super cooperating at the moment. It's sort of like it's in like, no, the new thing comes out soon. Why are you going through the old stuff again?
it.
Which I don't understand because when Age of Calamity came out, I sunk 200 hours in a new Breath of the Wild file before Age of Calamity dropped, and then I dove right into Age of Calamity and sunk 100 or so hours into that. But apparently my brain isn't playing ball right now for that sort of thing. That's just how ADHD goes. Breath of the Wild remains fun as ever. I kind of wish they'd do another Cadence of Hyrule.
That was so good. I can't wait for the Crypt of the Necrodancer DLC to come to console.
Yeah. I should see what the status of that is.
But yeah, Cadence of Hyrule was really cool.
Yeah.
So clever.
Ooh, the last Synchrony update was a couple weeks ago. I imagine once they're done with all, like, since Synchrony is technically in like beta right now and they're updating and testing things and balancing and making changes and whatnot, I imagine when it's like done, they'll bring it to console. I noticed a couple of the new characters in Synchrony are also in the in Rift of the Necrodancer. So,
Oh yeah. That looks interesting too.
yeah, it does.
That's kind of their take on Rhythm Heaven, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love that.
I want to know
Oops.
what the continuity is going to be on that, because it's like contemporary setting,
Yeah.
apparently.
It reminds me a lot of Ludosity's Card City Nights, which just transplanted a lot of their characters into a new setting.
I wouldn't be upset if they just transplanted them into like modern AU and didn't comment on it at all.
Yeah, that's pretty much what Card City Nights does.
It's just like, yep, Crypt and Cadence happened, and now this is what we're doing, and it'd be like, okay, cool, I'm down for it. You know.
But it's possible that this is where Cadence ended up after she went through the portal
very possible, yeah.
at the end of Cadence of Hyrule. Doesn't account for the other characters being there, but
no,
that's okay. They'll come up with something.
Yeah. Hyperlight Drifter, I'm kind of interested to go through again. We got some more info on Breaker recently. So that's got me kind of excited about it again. And development on the tabletop game has started up again. They're fleshing out the world and like giving like definitive place names and nailing down map stuff and things like that for Breaker. And it's like, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that.
You like the mystery of the first one better?
Not necessarily mystery, but just sort of like open-endedness of it, if that makes sense. Like, I've likened it to playing Zelda before I knew how to read.
Wow, that would be an experience.
Like, so let's see. Yeah, Link to the Past came out when I was 4. And the first time I played that, I couldn't read much at all. So I was just kind of wandering around the map and talking to people, and like text bubbles and stuff would come up. And sometimes things would happen after I talked to people. But mostly it was wandering around and finding new things and new areas to explore, and occasionally I'd find a dungeon or a new item, and that would be like, ooh, what can I do with this now? Sort of thing. And I kind of had to piece together what was going on and where I was supposed to go and what I was supposed to do from context.
Wow.
And just puzzle solving skills.
That's really impressive.
And that's Hyperlight Drifter. That's the whole game. There's no spoken dialogue. Like, the only text is the menus, and when you talk to characters, information is conveyed to you in picture bubbles, if anything at all. And so you kind of just have to pick up from environmental storytelling what the heck's going on. And it's all very, very atmospheric and good. And then the first sequel, Solar Ash, came out and was the exact opposite of that. It was super wordy and had a lot to tell you explicitly with words and voice acting.
I wasn't aware it was a sequel.
Well, it takes place in the same world.
Okay.
Well, the same universe? I don't know. Breaker's taking place explicitly on the same world as Drifter. Solar Ash is in the same continuity, but it's unclear how it's connected. I suspect, my fan theory is that it's a prequel. For spoilery reasons. But it's very much the same sort of vibe. If Hyperlight Drifter is like Link to the Past, then Solar Ash is like Breath of the Wild, I guess. Like it's the big 3D game, you know?
Yeah.
But it was very much a shift in storytelling technique, like the exact opposite. And like Hyperlight Drifter, the studio is called Heart Machine because the guy had been put on a pacemaker and didn't know how long he had to live, and he wanted to get this game made. So it's very like only tell you the essentials and let you sort of take your own experience away from it.
Hmm.
You know? And then by the time Solar Ash was in development, he knew he was going to live. That wasn't a concern anymore. And so he kind of like gets to take his time and talk to you now, you know? Like that was sort of the vibe I got from it. But also a bit of like, oh my god, shut up. Like, oh my god, now he won't stop talking. So I'm kind of interested to see how Hyperlight Breaker's gonna go about it, because it looks like Breaker's gonna be more kind of like Risk of Rain 2.
I love that game.
Well, yeah, that's apparently what Breaker's gonna be like.
All right, you sold me.
But it's also like there was some stuff that was created, like there's a tabletop game in development, like a tabletop RPG, not like a board game. And so they'd been like fleshing out some world details and stuff, and they'd like nailed down some character races and whatever, and all the character races in the tabletop RPG were based on the various like anthropomorphic animal people you see in Drifter and Solar Ash. And it was sort of, since Heart Machine themselves weren't working on the tabletop, they were just signing off on everything. The community wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to it, like as far as like this is important to the lore sort of thing. But then Breaker is using a bunch of that stuff.
Oh, I love that.
Like Breaker's going to have character creation, and is using like the same races and stuff from the tabletop RPG.
Nice.
And they have retroactively revealed which of the player races the Drifter belongs to.
Okay.
So we now know that underneath that knight helmet he has cat ears.
Oh, this is just like Shovel Knight.
Yeah. And that he's blue because he's one of the blue cat people. But yeah, so that's kind of interesting. That like, and they're getting a Netflix series.
Oh wow!
It's just like the franchise has really exploded, and I'm happy for it. I really like the franchise. I'm just like, I really like Hyperlight Drifter and the atmosphere and aesthetic it had going on, and I hope that some of that is preserved. Like, they're doing an anime adaptation of Hyperlight Drifter. I do not want any voice acting in it.
Good luck with that.
I want it to just be like 90s synthwave soundtrack set to action scenes and long stretches of contemplative exploration.
That sounds great to me.
I want something like heavy metal, where there's like not actual dialogue. It's just like vibe and aesthetic to the music.
Heavy metal has dialogue.
In some segments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm getting at, though, right?
I do. All right, this is the end level of this one, so we've sort of skimmed over the plot, but ahead I had discovered that all the clues pointed to something unknown to the villagers there at the time, the underwater wreck of the HMS Royal George. After hours of careful investigation, I discovered the first stolen uncolorizer device to be plugged deep within a cannon of the wreck. I cut it out of there using the discarded torch and deactivated it. It was time to report back with the news. Oh, look at that.
Yep.
Dramatic.
I did that cutscene.
That's awesome.
I didn't do the art for it. I just made sure the cutscene worked. Yep.
Okay.
That's it.
Whoa! Time portal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
Oh,
Spend
more.
null. Let me see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It went to the website.
More mobile game bullshit.
Sorry, this item is not currently available for purchase.
Yeah.
Okay, it's kicked me back to the game. Okay. So that's part of the system that doesn't work anymore.
So you need to go get some more stars. You couldn't progress right now if you wanted to.
Dang. Yeah, well, I guess that's
Need to
the end of
get good.
I thought I was doing okay. So we've got ancient Egypt coming up, or just Egypt, I guess. Nice rural town with a railway.
I remember getting that train to line up with those train tracks being a pain in the ass.
Sweet. Oh, ancient Greece. The
Animating
golden
all
age
these little map
piracy.
things was such a pain.
Whoa, the moon. Whoa. Oh, is this like gang wars in the 20s?
Yeah, I think so.
Whoa! Dinosaur times, love it. Wow, this is a huge game.
Yep.
Oh, and they would have updated it over time. Do you remember what's up there? If that was implemented?
I do not remember what's up there.
Wow. There's so much here. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not play well enough to get past the first gate.
No, you didn't.
It's the
you got
combos.
kind of impatient there after a while. It's fine. I get it.
Yeah, it's just my play style doesn't suit the way it wants you to play to get the scores and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What were the other ones? Oh, make no mistakes. Yeah, that was just fumbling. If I'd done those without fumbling, we'd be there. Well. Well. That, I think, will do it.
Okay.
Because I wasn't able to find any more of your games, unfortunately.
Yeah. Unfortunately, America's Army went down recently. It was free to play, so you would have been able to boot it up and partake in some,
military propaganda.
Military propaganda.
Love it. Not
jinx. I mean, it was fun enough.
Sure.
Actually, it didn't have it was an interesting FPS in that you generally died in 1 or 2 hits from a bullet, and it had realistic.
Was it a bit like Counter-Strike? Because you die pretty quick in that. Ah, okay. Oh.
Supposed to be sort of military propaganda, so it was somewhat realistic. If you died, and you were out for the match. And it had realistic jump heights. You died in a hit or 2. There weren't shields or ammo lying around or whatever. It was very sort of, matches could be over very quickly. I can definitely see why some people would be drawn to the series with a more realistic sort of aesthetic like that. But the game's gone now, so you can't play it.
Yeah, and when we say that it's military propaganda, that's literally true, right? Because it was
it's literally military propaganda.
It was commissioned by the U.S. Army.
The U.S. Army. Yeah. I had to. My work computer was routed through military servers. We had to get permission to look at Unreal Engine's websites to go do development stuff. I am one of the reasons Crunchyroll is blocked on military servers. Yep. Military propaganda. I also wrote some other stuff for them that I'm not allowed to talk about.
Ooh.
Nothing bad. I've heard stories about people getting hired and not knowing what they were going to work on and finding out they're writing missile guidance systems, but I was just writing some training software. But yeah, paid well. And then after that, I went to work at VR Studios and was on the amusement park stuff and the Dave and Buster's stuff. And after that, I was at Oculus. I wasn't really working on games, more just general Oculus Rift engine stuff, sound engine stuff in specific. And after that, I went to work at Xbox for Age of Empires. So yeah.
Yeah. Did you say when we were live that like Showdown in Ghost Town is not in Knott's Berry Farm anymore, but it might still be in Dave and
Yeah,
Buster's?
Showdown in Ghost Town was the amusement park attraction I worked on, and I believe you can find some YouTube videos of it. Um, it's no longer at the park, unfortunately, but I did find listed on VR Studio's site. They rent out their VR stuff to like places like Dave and Buster's. And Showdown in Ghost Town is listed in the suite of amusements that can be played in the setup. So, yeah.
So you could potentially play it at home.
Yeah, you could if you wanted to shell out for one of these setups.
Nice.
I think the room that you play those things in is bigger than my apartment. So,
I see.
I don't know, maybe half of my apartment. Um, but still, it's big. Because, you've got multiple people running around in VR headsets. So, yeah, I had a lot of fun working on those.
Hmm. And
And that's,
yeah,
yeah,
looking forward to what comes next,
yeah, me too.
whatever it should be.
In the immediate future, I think what comes next is going to be a lot of Tears of the Kingdom.
That should be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for agreeing to commentate with me on this and letting me show off your games.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, this was fun. You've always been a good supporter of my stream, so yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to
Well,
show some of the cool things that you'd made and how creative you
you
can be.
seem to think they're a lot cooler than I do, but I think it's incredibly common for developers to not have that high of an opinion of their own work.
I think
So,
you're right. All right. Oh, and I said I was gonna. This is the first stream I've done since the Trans Day of Visibility on 30th of March, and I should say on the stream that I am now using they them pronouns.
yay.
I was supposed to say that earlier, like while we were chilling out with Picross or something, and I just forgot. So I'm sliding it in right at the end. Anyway, cool. Well, that's all for the stream. This has
Yep.
been cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put some links maybe in the description, and yeah, I don't know what I'm doing next time. Find out next week.
Milo will probably find some more Donkey Kong fan games somewhere. We'll just manifest them into reality.
I was looking into some Wizard of Oz retro games, so maybe I'll play those.
Ooh. You gonna play that DS trackball one?
No, not that one.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'll do a little bit of it. Is that that's so trackball? Is that not the JRPG one?
Yeah,
It is that one. Okay,
yeah.
interesting.
But it has it uses the touchscreen for a trackball interface.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Sort
that's
of
the
like,
only reason I'm kind of fascinated by that one.
it's like Mario 64 DS kind of thing.
Actually, I think the developers of that one might be some studio I'm aware of. It was Yellow Brick Road, Trackball, yeah, JRPG. Come on, Moby Games. It was Beyond the Yellow Brick Road, Moby Games, credits. Wait, who worked on you? Oh, goodness. Yeah, I have no idea. Oh, it was the Wild Arms devs. Okay.
Ah, the Wild Arms devs. Wow. I'll look forward to finding out all about that. All right. So, signing off. Farewell.
Okay. Farewell. Adieu. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.